on April 26th.
You know your teams, you know your missions. No mistakes. No do-overs. Look out for each other. This is the fight of our lives.
He's pretty good at that, right? Avengers Endgame.
Welcome, everyone, to a very special episode of the Shade of Shit Talking Podcast. I'm your host, TK, and joining me is my family, my Black with No Chaser family. We're here to talk about everything Marvel and a couple of other things in between. So, joining me is my boy, my ace from back home, CJ Quan Garvey Lawrence.
What's up, brother?
My boy Leslie Takeaway Killer Macklemore.
What's going on, man?
and last but certainly not least, the Marvel guru, Captain America's homeboy, even though Cap is trash, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The anticipator of all things Marvel. My man, you all know him. You've seen him on YouTube. You've seen him on the page of E-Man's movie reviews. Mr. Emmanuel Norset. What's up, man?
What up?
So listen, man, it's finally here. It's been a long year. I honestly think I'm more excited about this movie than the birth of any one of my kids. So. I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
That's petty.
That's true, though.
I mean, listen, man. I know what I'm pretty much getting out of my kids. I don't know what with this goddamn movie, man. So it's here, man. How y'all feel, man?
Feeling good, brother. Feeling good. It's exciting, man. But I'm looking forward to getting into it with y'all tonight about it. We've been anticipating it for a while now, since motherfuckers disappeared. So, so yeah, y'all excuse me, man. I'm gonna turn it backwards though until they holler at us. Turn
right.
it backwards.
You know, good point.
Pour it out for the Wakandans.
Right. But right, for the homies that ain't here, or are they? I don't know where they are. I'm sure E-Man will let us know.
Man, I don't know nothing. I couldn't even, it's an understatement for me to say that I'm excited. Like, I've been waiting for this ever since the last movie ended. You know what I'm saying? Like, the craziest thing about this is the fact that we don't know nothing. And that excites me and drives me crazy at the same time. And that's exactly why I do movie stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the stuff that gets me going. You know, when especially as a movie critic, I have to watch over 50 movies in a year, minimum. You know, the average person probably watches 20, you know, give or take. If you even got that kind of time. Right. See, even less than that, right? So for me, it's kind of like once you start watching 50 plus movies every year, movies start looking alike. They start sounding alike. You start, you know, and it's harder to impress a critic. And that's usually why there's such a divide between critics and fans, because we've seen it. We've done it. We've been there, done that. But this movie right here, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. They got no choice but to surprise us. So I'm down. I'm ready.
Man, what you just said, that sounds, you know, good and all, but you know, on Infinity War,
yeah,
and I might have to pull the audio and play it back for those of you who hadn't heard it, but this man predicted like 93% of the entire movie.
That's an accurate ass number, man.
93.7% of the movie.
You know,
play more lotto like that, man.
Like I mean, you went as far, like what blew me away was the whole Loki thing you talked about, and it was like dead on. And I could have sworn Thanos said some of the same goddamn words that you said to us. You know, I watched the movie. I'm sitting in the theater like, man, did this nigga co-write this script? This shit ain't coincidental.
Bro, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that pod because I don't even remember what I told you.
I remember too. I was like, man, I don't know shit, spoiler alert for anybody who hadn't watched Ant-Man and Wasp yet, but I mean that shit was far from coming out by the time we talked about like this had to be around this time last year. Like
yeah, it was.
Right after Black Panther came out or right before Infinity War came out. I can't exactly remember, but you talked about Ant-Man and Wasp, and like you kind of predicted what was gonna happen in the cut scene of Ant-Man and Wasp. Like so when you did that shit, I was like, man, I just threw my hands up. Fuck it. I just threw my shit like, bro. I'm like, I feel like I already watched it because I know what's gonna happen at the end, and it happened at the end. So I mean, but we know.
I don't even know if that's a good thing or not. Like, is it good that I can predict the stuff, or is it bad because Marvel's doing stuff too predictable? I don't know.
No, I think it's good though.
This nigga worse than Tom Holland, man.
Like for real though, and he is, and that's the reason why I just decided to just rid myself of this motherfucker's theories videos. I was just like, I'm done for like, I need to cut this off. I didn't unsubscribe now. Like I
I'm not mad at you.
But I'm just saying, like as soon as you post a new video about Endgame, I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I just gotta watch.
Not this time.
Only right. Not this time. Not today. The only thing that I've been doing is just watching trailers, man. That's it. I watch these trailers once a day just to get myself stoked about this shit.
If there's any forewarning, do not watch my next 2 to 3 videos. Then just
listen, man. I watched one. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like because I'm gonna try. I got something that's working in my head, but I haven't put it down on paper yet. And I got another one that's gonna be like just okay, last minute final predictions. Boom, 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 boom. Here's what I think, and I'm gonna just because I see the movie a little bit earlier than everybody else. Like I want to say like on a Tuesday during that week, and right after I watch it, like all the press are going to be able to watch it. So just a heads up for everybody who doesn't want spoilers. Tuesday, what is it? The 22nd, I want to say, of that week, after 5 p.m. Central Time, you might want to cut off your social media. You might want to cut off the internet. Every news outlet is going to talk about whatever they saw in Avengers Endgame.
Damn.
So more than likely they will try to respect because Disney usually comes out and be like, hey, we know the embargo's getting cut, but shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully some outlets will be respectful about it, but it's the internet. All it takes is one person. So if you don't want spoilers, you're going to have to keep your head in the sand for like 2-3 days, like straight up.
I'm about to mute Endgame on Twitter.
So I mean, you have to.
Like I'm
legit, like thumbnails, headlines. I mean, I feel bad because I hate spoilers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like doing spoilers, but just a heads up for folks.
You gotta get what they
that's
want.
The thing.
You know,
some people want it. Some people so thirsty. That's it.
Yeah, they love it.
I guess.
Yeah. Man, I honestly wouldn't care, man. Like you could come out Wednesday and tell me the whole goddamn movie. And my black ass gonna be sitting there on Thursday, ready to go. I mean, because that's basically what you did, on the last movie, Well,
like, I didn't do that on purpose, like
but like one of your one of your reviews for I believe Aquaman, you was talking about it, predicting or whatever, and like I'm watching it, but I'm hearing in my head like you saying, Tyrus, you gonna wear a blue shirt that day, you gonna sit on row M, seat 8. You're going to get popcorn and a Snicker. I'm like, God damn. Like the accuracy of it all be throwing me off, So,
that's funny.
So if I see you pop up on my feed, I'm just going to block your ass. And just,
look,
to Monday.
Okay, another heads up. Look, I called off the whole week of work because I was like, this about to be my money bread week. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the second that embargo lifts, 5 p.m., April 22nd, Tuesday, I'm going live. I'm giving my reaction. I might just do a whole review right then and there. So if y'all just want, it'll be spoiler free because I strongly believe that everyone should go and anticipate the movie. You know what I'm saying? You know, as much as possible. But I mean, I'll give my review. I'll say stuff. Obviously, I won't spoil it or nothing. But if you thirsty, check me out.
So, all right, so question: How excited do you think you are going to be right after the movie, and therefore may skew your spoiler-free review a little bit? Like, because every time I go out of a movie like that, I have like a raging ass nerd boner, right? Pause.
Right.
You know, like so my shit is just like, I'm just ready to. I'm just like, oh, this movie was the best movie I've ever seen for my fucking life.
Bro, look, I'm so pumped. I made this shirt. Whatever it takes.
That's a dope shirt, by the way.
I made this shirt and I made like 5 other ones just so I could rotate every hour while I'm watching this thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's the excitement is up there. And the crazy thing is that could be a problem because what I try to tell people is like, I never tell people like, yo, don't go watch this movie. You know what I'm saying? Because I always want people to make up your own mind. But the important thing that I think I try to contribute to is managing expectations. Because right now, this movie, if it's anything less than a 10 or a 9 out of 10, I think we just gonna feel like it's a fail. Because you gotta match the expectations. You gotta with this level of hype, you gotta come in like Black Panther. Black Panther had nothing but like the highest expectations. And if that thing had came anything like above average or lower, man.
But you know what though? That's the same thing.
Away.
But you know what though? I recall like with The Last Jedi, I remember the expectations was just so high. Remember when the director in Disney had confirmed the director had got his own spin-off trilogy, so everybody was just like, "Oh, this shit must be like the greatest Star Wars movie ever."
Money.
Right, take my money now. And then you leave the movie, you're like, "Wait, what the fuck did that?" So a kid moving some shit with the broom, is that my ultimate like takeaway from this movie? Oh, so you're getting Luke died. What?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
You're just mad. Yeah. So you're right.
So I'm just gonna try. I'm obviously going to be excited, but I think what helps with that is I'm going in just like any one of y'all are going in to the movie. You know what I'm saying? So kind of like with Hellboy. I just got done watching Hellboy, and I mean, I was probably as excited for it as anybody else who liked the Hellboy movies. But that stuff was garbage. I mean, it was bad. And it was like, it broke my heart because I was like, yo, I was really hoping for like a decent comic book movie that wasn't DC or Marvel, you know, and it's a hard rated R. Like, you about to get gritty with it, you know, but it was just bad. So for me, I'm like, yo, I'm not going to tell y'all not to watch it because everybody likes to watch a car crash, you know, or slow down to look at it, but it's really bad. It's a bad movie. It's a bad movie. Wow. But because I tell you it's bad,
right
now you don't go in with the high expectations.
Sure.
You going in like, okay, I want to see how bad it is.
Right.
And if it's
maybe
not
it's
like
not
a total,
that bad, right? Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. You gonna come out of it different, like, hey, it wasn't completely bad. It had a lot of problems. Yeah. But it wasn't but if you went in blind, you'd be like, yo, give my money right now. Give it back. So I'm just here to manage the expectations. That's all.
See, I do want to bring up something about that we talked about the last time, even though, you know, the Ant-Man and Wasp movie for sure. Because that's really, you know, I mean, I've caught all of the other ones, but Ant-Man and Wasp outside of the not Wonder Woman movie, but the Captain Marvel movie.
Captain Marvel.
Ant-Man and Wasp is the last one that I saw.
Okay.
And you did predict a lot of what happened in Ant-Man and Wasp, and that was before any trailers had even come out of that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
we were having that discussion. So it wasn't like you had seen anything in advance to be able to determine what the movie was going to be about at all.
Right.
So one of the things that you said was that they were going to have to go back into the quantum realm for some reason in that particular film, and I know that you premised a lot of your other theories around that as well. And So we know at the end of, forgive me to anybody who has not seen Ant-Man and Wasp, but I mean, it's gonna make sense to you at the beginning of.
Nigga, it's too late for that now.
Anyway, right?
Yeah, it's been a year now.
Yeah. So like, obviously at the very end, he's in the quantum realm, and we see him in the trailers for Endgame. So one of the things we know for sure is that he somehow got out of the quantum realm in order to do that, because that is a significant part of your theory, and because we know that Ant-Man is obviously one of the key players in this, and that people like what's Gamora's sister name? Yeah, help me out.
Nebula.
So we're seeing like a lot of players that were kind of auxiliary players in the most of the other films be like essential characters to this to this new bunch, and I think that's pretty dope. But to me, that definitely lends itself to your theory that both Ant-Man was stuck in the quantum realm, and that somehow, some way, he manages to be outside of the quantum realm when we at some point in Endgame. So that's something that I'm looking forward to and I'm anticipating to kind of follow your theory in that way.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, and I don't think it's too much of a spoiler or not, but it's basically the prevailing theory right now is that he probably jumped into a time vortex. So in the end credit scene of Ant-Man and Wasp, the original Wasp, she had told him, hey, while you in there, watch out for the time vortexes because we could lose you forever, etc. So my guess is that because he's in the time vortex, or because he's in the quantum realm, everybody got dusted, ain't no real way to come back. He's probably like, hey, F it. I got nothing to lose. I might as well jump into this. And by jumping into a time vortex, presumably he probably jumps into either the future or into the past or even present day. We don't know. That's the one thing that we really don't know about Endgame. We know some time has passed. We don't know how much time has passed. But the leading thing, at least with Ant-Man, is that he jumps through a time vortex, probably brings him up to present day. He's, as we saw in the trailers, he's walking around. He don't know what's going on. He sees people missing, etc., etc. And there. If the notion or the theory is true that there's going to be time travel in this movie, it's probably understood that they're going to use the quantum realm to do, like some quantum leaping almost, so to speak. And how they're going to use it, why they're going to use it, I don't know if Ty want me to get that deep with it. I don't know. But, I think that's going to be like the surface level premise of how they're going to approach Endgame right now.
I'm also very weary about like the Russos and their fucking trailers, man. Because they're always trying to deceive people.
Oh, they some effing liars.
Like straight up and down. And they'll lie about the whole tone of the movie in the trailer to make it seem like it's another kind of movie, and then all of a sudden shit just goes completely left in the actual movie.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that, like, for real, because one thing is, like, if you wanted to, the purpose of a trailer is what? To sell you on a movie. We were sold from Infinity War. Like, we didn't even need a trailer. Right. Let's be honest.
They could have dropped that shit like Beyonce dropped that album that night.
Bro,
like, I'm there.
We would have been running.
It could have been 1 o'clock in the morning. I would have just woke up and left. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, work, I'm sick. You know what it is.
It could be like a black screen that just say nigga. And everybody and their mama just gonna show up.
Yo, I mean, I'm
it's like, where's Iron Man?
I'm calling everybody like, yo, y'all see the signal, right? Let's go.
Bat signal. That's good.
But no, I mean, look, the purpose of a trailer is to sell us for a movie, but it's also to let us know what to feel, right? Like, am I supposed to feel scared about this, excited, or depressed, whatever? And they did that. which is what I love because they dropped like 3-4 trailers and didn't tell us nothing about the actual movie. Then to actually go and lie and shoot extra scenes, we don't even know if this is why I can't even do theories on the trailers, because I don't know if it's not true, what am I theorizing? You know what I'm saying? So I love that they just are intentionally lying to us, because I don't even think Tony Stark is there, to be honest. I think they pulling our leg with that. But,
hold on, what you mean and what?
Well, remember in the Infinity War trailer, they made us think that Hulk was going to be all up in the movie.
Correct.
I don't think Tony Stark is there. I mean, I think everybody wants Tony to be there. I just got a feeling it's a little too good to be true. That's all. But
you know what, though? Also in Infinity War, I remember, for example, Thanos in the trailer saying, fun is something one considers when balancing the universe, but this does put, and he doesn't even say that in the fucking movie. Like, right? Yeah. His whole demeanor is actually very solemn, especially after he kills Gamora, and he's sort of depressed especially through the second half of the movie. But through the trailers, you thought that, Thanos is going to be up in there just like having fun and talking shit, and just killing folks for no reason. And he kills people for a reason. He doesn't kill people if he doesn't have to, and he's really like kind of feels sorry for people. That's throughout the whole movie.
Go ahead, E.
I was just gonna say, like, one thing that the Russo brothers do, and I appreciate, is that they're fans of the comics, right? And one thing that they always try to let people know is that we've read the comics, we know the stories, we know you know the story, so we're not about to give you the same thing. They like to subvert your expectations. So Leslie was saying, like, when we were going into Infinity War, we thinking we about to see the Mad Titan. Thanos in the comics was no joke. He was killing for the fun of killing. In this one, we get the actual opposite. This Thanos is not a desire of death. He's not chasing death. He's actually trying to protect life. It's in a messed up way, but he cares about life, so he does show mercy a lot. I was actually going to do a video about that, like how many times Thanos shows mercy. It's a lot of times. Like, he could have killed a lot of people quicker, easier, faster, and he just doesn't, because he actually respects people. He actually has a lot of mercy and sympathy, which is very counter to what we've seen in the comics. So it's a very dope and interesting character study, actually.
I was even thinking did the Russo brothers, and you guys would know this, did they do the first Avengers film?
No, the first Avengers was Joss Whedon. He did the first two.
Yeah,
so at the end of the first time we are introduced to Thanos' character at all, even subtly, is in the end credits of the first one. Is that right? Or is that
right?
Okay, correct. So even his appearance and his response to things in that short period of time that we see him in the first one, that personification of Thanos is a little more sinister than the one we're presented with by the time we get to the Russo brothers version of Thanos.
Right.
I found even his evolution as a character very interesting and something that that was worthy of conversation, because like there were instances where even things like him saying to Iron Man, "I hope they remember you." That kind of blew my mind. I mean, that's some cold shit to say. I mean, like that's right up there with Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction reading off the what is the righteous periods?
The Bible verse before you
reading the Bible verse right before he blasts you. Yeah. I mean, it was that vicious, but at the same time, it was truly empathetic in how he went about it. And so, I would say that I'm probably more of a amateur reader when it comes to the comics. I do follow the film, but it did kind of confuse me as a more of a novice when it comes to the films, to see him in a different light than perhaps I should have seen him after many of the things that he did throughout the movie to to acquire the power that was necessary to do what he did, and upon doing what he did. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Well, so two things. One, they make these movies, and this is a kind of an argument I have to have, or a constant reminder I have to have with actual comic book fans. They're not making these movies for comic book fans. They know comic book fans are going to show up regardless. Doesn't matter. They could do a movie about the cat in Captain Marvel. We gonna show up. You know, we gonna be like, oh, that's stupid. It's a waste of time, but we gonna show up. They make the movies for average people because that's where the money's at. You know what I'm saying? If they can get your grandma to come and watch this, that's an extra $20 that they wasn't gonna see before. So that's fine. So yeah, I mean, like, don't feel bad or pressured that, you know, if you're not on to the comics or whatever, because they going in a whole different lane with all of this stuff, you know. And one other thing to your point about Thanos' change in demeanor, and I don't know if this is a theory or not, but it was just something kind of interesting to me. I wonder if that was like an after effect.
Before you
Okay.
said, is this an exclusive? Is this an exclusive?
Oh, I'm giving y'all all exclusives. All exclusives.
Drop the bomb. Drop the bomb.
I'm doing.
Drop the flex bomb.
All the exclusives. I wonder if that was a byproduct of the Soul Stone, because when Red Skull told Thanos the Soul Stone has a certain type of wisdom that it bestows on people. It's kind of like, well, what kind of wisdom? You know, like what kind of insight is the Soul Stone about to give somebody who possesses it? And the only thing I can really think of is the value of life, like the value of a soul. So I could totally see Thanos sitting around in his, you know, garden or whatever he's at, and maybe he's in some deep thought now, wrestling with, did I actually do the right thing? You know, is this the right way to go? Because the Soul Stone is like, yo, every soul matters. You know,
right. Also,
every soul's got some weight.
Also, what I've noticed about the Russos is that, like, I guess the term is like they Russo these characters, all these Marvel characters that they get their hands on, from Captain America and Winter Soldier and in Civil War, from Iron Man and Civil War, to where, like, you see that these characters sort of get down at their lowest points, and the Russo does a very good job at sort of exploring how a Marvel character would be if it were placed in the real world compared to, you know, their comic book, you know, exaggerated persona, right? And so with even with Iron Man, you know, who is my favorite character in the cinematic universe, you know, you sort of saw how, compared to Avengers 1 and 2, to where his powers are way more souped up than what they kind of are now. Even, you know, because Avengers 1 and 2, I mean, he was just whooping ass, taking names. I remember in Avengers 2 with Ultron, he was just like, the only thing he fucked up was just creating Ultron. Other than that, he was just like wrecking shop. But Avengers 3, and you know, like, and then with Civil War as well, you know, you saw these sort of character flaws of Iron Man being explored. And you saw this character flaw of Captain America being explored, with him sort of this unrelenting loyalty to his best friend and keeping secrets from Captain America. I'm sorry, from Iron Man. And so he's trash.
Listen, man, I don't mean to cut you off, man, but
go ahead.
I need to hear this. Go ahead.
Here we go.
Y'all was talking about, you know, these characters evolving, and whether it was with Joss Whedon or the Russo brothers. The one thing that has been constant is Cap has been trash. I'm sorry.
Told you, boy, shots fired.
It's not that I dislike it, but I mean, come on, man. First of all, you know, he sold out Iron Man for the nigga who killed Iron Man's parents.
That's some cold shit.
Time they jumped him because Iron Man got mad.
Like, bro, you know, I understand you homeboys with Bucky, but that ain't the same nigga you went to World War II with and all of that. You know, my thing is, at least let that man get a fade. Let him fight. You know, when that man hit the fade, and you just stand back like, all right, now y'all can fight, but ain't nobody gonna shoot nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let him work it out.
He jumped in it, and like, you know, you tough shit because you beat up a damn plane. Come on, man. He beat him
Hey,
a play. And
Todd,
niggas be
that's
capping for that.
look, and people keep arguing with me about this, and they don't believe me. That specific reason right there, the fact that he was a crappy friend to Iron Man because he hid them secrets, and he basically lied through omission by not speaking up. Because Cap was like, or Iron Man was like, "Hold up, you knew this all this time,
Exactly.
and you ain't say nothing." And Cap was like, "Yeah, like he just." That's why in Avengers: Age of Ultron, Cap couldn't lift Thor's hammer.
Man,
He
where's
wasn't
my
He
super
wasn't
buddy?
worthy.
He was
wasn't
not worthy. Bro, you was a crappy friend and you was a crappy leader of a team, hiding secrets and all that.
Especially when you have this persona of being the guy, right, who was supposed to be the upstate. We know who Tony Stark is. We know who he is. And so when Tony Stark finds that out, he is so heartbroken by like, what the fuck? You mean to tell me that you've had this
of
secret?
all people.
Right, of all people, you decide not to tell me after we've been to battle, like Ty was saying, like we've been to battle, man. And this is what you respect.
He just did it again. I bet you they gonna bring that up probably about the hour and 45-minute mark of the movie. Somebody gonna take some rip of that shit.
If they do, I'll be so happy because I called that out back in like 2016, 2015, because nobody really had a good answer as to why Cap couldn't lift the hammer, back, after Age of Ultron. And I was like, yo, he knew this secret for the longest time, and he's a trashy person.
I never
like this is
that.
Bad stuff.
That's super foul.
But
because the fact before that, we never saw him commit a sin. I mean, I can't recall Captain America committing an actual sin.
Yeah, he was jumping on grenades and shit, man.
I did make another potential prediction, which was after Civil War, after he kind of confessed and got that off his chest. Now he's able and now he's worthy to lift Thor's hammer if it were to happen.
That would be bad.
So I don't know if they do some
Stormbreaker
time travel.
If he lifted, if he lifted Stormbreaker or something.
Oh yeah, if he lifts
Stormbreaker. No, not Stormbreaker.
Are you not talking about Stormbreaker? Okay.
No, I'm talking about the old school. So if they do some time travel and they go back, or whatever, don't be surprised. This is why, because he got it off his chest. So that's my thought.
Hey, if that shit happen, man, if that shit happen, I'm walking the fuck out.
And coming right back.
I'm walking out. They gonna first on me. Oh, this nigga. I'm gonna walk out and then come right back.
You gonna come right? I mean, I'm talking about like right back.
I'm gonna come right back.
Because you waited 3 hours for them tickets on fucking Fandango.
Bruh, don't even get me
That's
started.
why.
Let me just say this about Cap, man. Y'all was talking about, he hold a secret and he knew this, and virtue and all of that. Captain America is a quote unquote good cop that they always tell us exists, but we never.
What? Are you
going deep?
Okay.
Oh.
I mean,
brother, you going Hotep deep.
Listen,
he ain't wrong though.
As I attempt to manipulate the oxygenation of the conversation for your digestion. But no, seriously though, man. Think about it, man. Shit go so Bucky is the bad cop. Cap is the good cop. Cap see all the bullshit that Bucky did and the shit Bucky pulled. And yet he does nothing.
Blue wall of silence.
But as soon as somebody roll up on him, he's trying to help get rid of the body.
Right.
That's what Cap is. He's a good cop.
And he's protecting his boy at all costs.
Exactly.
Hey man, give yourself a bomb for that one, man. Give yourself a bomb for that one.
Let me go back and find it. I'll do that in a minute.
Yeah, you gotta give yourself
That's supposed to be on deck. Hey, there you go.
I mean,
you can do that. Oh, see that? There it is. You can drop that shit in post-production.
Yeah. Hey, that was dope. That was dope. But like, could you ever imagine Cap saying Black Lives Matter? Because I got a feeling he would just.
Oh no! Like we talk about this all the time. We talk about this all the time. Like I never know.
I feel like he'd be like all lives matter.
Man, and you know what's the cold part?
Is Make America Great Again personified.
Bruh, And what the cold part about that shit is when Cap was at his lowest point, who did he run to?
Mm.
Who was there for him, even when he was at his lowest? Who was there to save him? He ran to Wakanda. And that's who took him in. That's who took Bucky in. Bucky, after raising all his hell, and
see, man, niggas too forgiving.
and that's what
listen, man,
is all about.
Hey, I'm not taking it a nigga who just killed my daddy. Right. I can't do it.
I mean, he was brainwashed.
I mean, but also though,
okay, that's the same as them.
He done killed Iron Man, Mama and Daddy, and my
Hold on, wait a minute. And also, with the idea about Wakanda is that did he really tell the motherfuckers the whole story about all them aliens coming through Wakanda? Like, did he was he able to classify the entire story? Right, of saying, hey, it's not that we need to house Vision. No. Not only do we need to house Vision, but an alien army is coming after Vision.
Right,
entire fucking alien army.
Yeah, he brought all them problems over.
He brought all the problems over. Like fucking Starbucks and whatever else whatchamacallit was talking about. Nah. He brought Thanos in them.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn.
In
Yeah.
them.
Thanos done snapped up all the motherfucking Wakanda, man. Ain't shit left but
and you saw in the trailers they try to get rid of Shuri too.
That's some bullshit.
I think it's BS too. It better be BS.
I'm gonna tell you why I think it's bullshit. You tell me why you think it's bullshit.
Oh, I just think it's BS because one, back in like Infinity War, Angela Bassett had said something like, "Oh yeah, Shuri and me survived." You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of people was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Like at least Shuri survived." You know what I'm saying? But then they dropped the trailer and they showed Shuri's picture as one of the people that were missing or deceased, and then Marvel tried to get more trollish when they released like all 32 posters of like everyone that's fallen, and they put Shuri on the side that was fallen. So I think it's a huge misdirect. And if it's not, I'm gonna call them on their race card. I'm gonna pull that card real fast because y'all killing way too many black folks.
Right.
And y'all messing up the quota.
And then you save the ones who are fucking like War Machine. Come on, man. What the fuck was that like?
Hey, War Machine is an all lives matter dude too. You can see straight up from the trailer.
Wait. Did you
a military guy.
Did you just call?
I said it.
War Machine, Sheriff Clark.
I said it.
That version.
I don't know if he that bad.
Howard though. If they would have killed War Machine, man, then I think
War Machine. I agree, man. I'm always looking at Iron Man 1 and be like, you know what? He was a fucking good War Machine.
He wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad. He was fine. Next time. Yeah.
How they unveil him, man? Like that's some color.
Hey, that nigga got the big head, man. You know.
Hey man, like, but you know though, Terrence Howard is hard to deal with. We all know that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're right, man.
You're right, man.
I mean, you know, I know he looked back on it like, damn, I fucked that up.
He did. Because he started getting a little too big for his britches with that one.
You know, like, you know, he fucked that up. I ain't mad at him though, but still, you know,
he got Empire. He's all
right. Yeah. I mean, you know, he good. I ain't never watched. You know, I've watched maybe one episode of Empire. It's not my thing, but you know, I'm glad he landed on his feet, man. But you know, so you know, getting back to the movie that's coming up, man. I just want to get each one of y'all take on what you expect to see go down, or what is it that you want to see go down. I'll start with you. I'll start with you, CJ, and work my way around.
All right. Well, as I kind of like stated before, y'all, I haven't seen Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel hadn't really been in any of the previews that I've seen either. But obviously, at the end of not Endgame, but shit, the last year, Infinity War, we see Nick Fury contact Captain Marvel and put up the signal, and that's the first time we really introduced, well, at least, you know, other than maybe some Easter eggs or something like that, introduced to the fact that her character is going to be a part of it. I don't know how powerful she is, but I know I'm like, damn, Nick Fury, if you had this trump card, maybe I should use a different word. If you had the big Joker in your deck, why did it take 3 Armageddons before you called her? You know, why did it take half of the universe being killed before you, or you know, being snapped out of, you know, existence before we could count on it? But I'm looking forward to them drawing whatever. I'm really looking forward to them tying a lot of these strings together, if you will, with Ant-Man and Wasp, with whatever took place in Captain Marvel, with the Civil War dynamic at play, with, you know, whatever's happening with Iron Man. I'm really looking forward to the storytelling aspect of it. I'm looking forward to what I believe will be significant conflict. I want to understand the quantum realm more. I want to understand the significance of it. I do think that they wanted to expose us more to it in Ant-Man and Wasp for a purpose, and I want to understand that purpose. I want to understand what the significance of little Gamora in the last Avengers film was as well, and I want to make sense of a lot of the things that they kind of tease us with. I want to know. I mean, I don't recall seeing much of Hulk in the trailers either, and because his absence was so significant, and because we see Mark Ruffalo talking in the previews and things like that, we know obviously that he's going to be playing a role. I don't know, but I haven't seen the Hulk in any trailer that I've seen, and so I'm looking forward to questions being answered that, you know, that I've been pondering for about a year and a half now, and shit, man, I just want it to be an adventure. I don't want it to be everything that I expected it to be. I want to be shocked and confused at the end of Endgame as I was at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah, I feel that, man. And I'll give you my take in a minute. But what about you, Leslie?
So I'm excited, man, about everything that CJ was saying about just certain shit that's been building up that I want to see come to a resolve. Like what's going to happen the first time that Iron Man and Cap link up? How is that reunion going to go? You know, how hype are we going to see about that when Hulk actually turns into the Hulk, when Banner turns into the Hulk? Because in fact, there's going to be certain moments to where we're going to really enjoy it because we're going to enjoy it with the theater, right? This is going to be like everybody's first time seeing it. Because I'm seeing it on Friday, so maybe a couple people may see it on Thursday and Friday, but I know I'm seeing it on Friday at 8:00. And so, you know, like I'm excited about that shared experience, but I'm also just, man, like I just can't wait to turn my fucking brain off for 3 hours and just watch like just some ass whooping take place, you know, and also like I'm really excited about the trinity of characters, which is Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. And I remember in that last preview to where, you know, they announced that the tickets were on sale. At the very last scene, it was Thanos waiting on that trinity, you know, the Marvel Holy Trinity. And I really, you know, we've been riding with these characters for over a decade, man. And I'm just so like pumped about what will happen. What is the conclusion, right? Because I know that, because I want to cheer, I want to boo, I want to cry. I want to do all that shit in the span of 3 hours. I really, truly do. And I'm going to just let like everything emotionally just hang out because, man, I know that, you know, this is a rare moment in history, I think, for a lot of us because of the fact that, like, you know, we've invested a lot of time and energy and money into these movies, and to see it all come together in a couple of weeks is just beyond exciting for me. It's just beyond exciting. I can't really. I mean, this and Game of Thrones, man. I can't think about shit else.
Shit,
right?
Man. What?
like,
bro, my birthday is in April, and I feel like all this shit is for me, man. Like, it's my reward. for being an April Fool, baby, man.
Hey, man. And also to CJ, to your question about Captain Marvel, well, you know, she did address the fact that that she was out trying to save other worlds. Hence the reason why she wasn't around Earth. Yeah. So it was like a Good Morning America clip or something, you know, like, you know, ABC, and, you know, they showed, like little 30-second clips. And so to address that point. But anyway, man, look, I'm excited, dog. Black nerd fucking magic.
All of it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna let you close it out, E, because I mean, you know, you work for him and all.
You want to get your take, man?
But yeah, I'm gonna get my take. Then I'm gonna let you say what you gotta say. But you know, the first thing I want to see is nigga, Hulk got to get his fade back, bro. Like a nigga just can't beat you down and punch you in your neck and make you quit forever, and you just take it, man. You know, Hulk is like one of my favorite characters, man. He got to redeem himself, you know. Like I was watching it with my son, and my son was like, "Dang, Daddy, he did Hulk like that," and he said it with hurt. Like, you know, how can I explain to my son this 10-foot nigga just got his ass, man, you know, easily? Like, you know, like we saw in Age of Ultron, and when he was with the scene where he rides up on the little moped, and he asked Cap asked him, like, you know, how do you manage or whatever. He said the secret is I'm always angry. And then he just in 1 second turns into the Hulk and punches this big spaceship, just kills it right there. You know? And then you get up there with Thanos. This nigga give you like a 10-piece spicy with red beans, coleslaw,
mashed potatoes,
extra biscuit, and a drink.
He didn't even wait 15 minutes for it, man. He didn't have to pull around, nothing for it.
No, no wait. So that's the one thing I want to see, and the other one that has really been on my mind that I really want to know, and I really thought about it after these last couple of days. Is I want to know what happened to T.I., man. I hope he made it through, man. I want to see him most you know, like a nigga, you know, a nigga can survive the trap, but he could survive the snap, you know. I want to see him. Or at least, you know, I need some answers.
Snap music, man. Snap music. Okay.
Those are two things that I want to see, man. So that's you know, like you said, man, I'm excited about it. It's so much going on in 3 hours and 4 minutes, man. You know, like a lot of white people that I know, they was like 3 hours, Jesus Christ. I was like, you never been to a black church, so.
Every
right.
one of them
definitely haven't been in line.
Every one of them was lying. They saw Lord of the Rings. They sat there for the
especially Return of the fucking King. Yeah, and Titanic. Yeah,
dog. Return of the King ended like 5 times, dog. I was getting up, like I got up like 5 times. I'm like, damn, Frodo.
Another ceremony, another ending, another ceremony.
Yeah. Sit your ass down somewhere.
Motherfucker saying goodbye to everybody at the bar.
Listen, man, if you ever been to an Easter program in a black church, you can deal with a 3-hour movie easily. Like
Easter program, past appreciation, women, 100 women in red. Yeah, there's always something there.
Man, I remember going to church on Easter Sunday with my mama, man. We went for sunrise service. We got there at 6, and we didn't make it home till about 3:30.
Jesus.
The following Wednesday, I became an atheist. I couldn't do it no more, man.
Oh man, that was a young age, man.
Like Jesus, I'm through with it, baby. I can't deal with it.
That was a young age.
So what and like you said earlier, man, you watch 50, 60, 100 movies a year. Plus you work for Marvel, so you kind of already know the story.
Shield. He works for Shield.
Yeah.
He works for Shield, man.
So what do you expect? Or what are you looking forward to seeing in this movie?
I expect Marvel to send me a check one of these days because they back it's back due right now. Nah, look, kind of like what Leslie was saying, this is going to be I keep trying to tell people, like, this is going to be this generation's Empire Strikes Back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be that movie that we're going to remember in the next 20, 30 years and be like, I remember where I was when Endgame dropped. Good or bad, doesn't matter. It's a milestone in history at this point. And you know, the one thing that I think I'm primarily expecting is the fact that this is a conclusion. This is the end of a 10-year story. And you know, because one thing that the directors and the producers have always tried to communicate was that they want this to kind of be like the Return of the Jedi, the way how that third movie concluded Star Wars. I mean, for like 30 years, but the story was done, you know, and it was done in a way that was satisfying and it was exciting, you know, at least for the time being or whatnot. And it lasted for a very long time. So if that's the bar that they want to set, that's the bar I'm going in expecting. As far as the story itself, you know, I'm not expecting anything beyond that type of resolution. This movie is going to be about the original 6 Avengers. It's going to basically come full circle in some way, shape, or form. So that similar feeling that we felt back in 2012 when for the very first time we saw a superhero movie rise to levels we had never seen before, that's what this movie is going to try and encapsulate all over again, except with a resolution. So we're going to get way more story for Hawkeye, Captain America's story from, you know, Captain America 1, 2, 3, all of that's going to be concluded. Iron Man, who started the MCU, he's probably going to have one of the biggest storylines, and that's what I'm expecting is like a resolution to his overall character. Hulk, you know, he's definitely gonna get his shine. I think he's gonna get his 10-piece back. You know what I'm saying? He gonna do what he got to do to redeem himself. Yeah, you know, Black Widow is finally going to step up. She does have a movie coming out next year. I do have a specific prediction for her, but I'm gonna save that for another video. But let's just say she's gonna put her stamp on this movie. Now, one concern that I do have a very big concern. So, like in Infinity War, the biggest challenge that movie had was it was doing something unique, which was how do you juggle 60 characters in a movie? That was no movie's really ever done that, and keep our interest. Infinity War came, saw, they conquered. This movie, if it is true that they're going to handle time travel in some capacity, that is going to be the biggest challenge, I think, for this movie. Only because time travel in movies is messy. Even if it's as, you know, lighthearted as Back to the Future or, you know, whatever you want to call, like, it still can get very messy because on one hand, if you just say, oh, let's just go back in time and fix everything and rewind and bring everybody back, now it kind of makes the deaths and the snap less impactful, you know, less meaningful. And it means like, oh, so when in doubt, just go back in time. It's an easy fix. And it kind of, you know, ruins the stakes. But if you start going into more complex stuff like multiverse theory or fixed complex time continuum theory, like when you get into that advanced physics stuff for the average moviegoer,
still going over.
You're gonna start losing people, you know.
Yeah.
Now for comic book people that read this stuff, man, we've been conditioned for years. You know, that's nothing. But for a movie for 3 hours and you're gonna hit us with some science, man, you better do some quick, you know, McDonald's microwave type of science or something, you know, to get us in and out. So, because, you know, like Leslie said, I want to turn my brain off too. You know, I want to just enjoy it. So, I'm hoping and I'm expecting that they will keep it simple because that's actually kind of what they did with Infinity War. I remember when they did something like where's the Soul Stone, and everybody was coming up with these wild theories. Oh, it's in Wakanda, man. It's in Heimdall's eyeballs, and man, it's over here. So, and they was like, nah, it's just on another planet, and they just kept it as simple as that. So, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's a lot of interesting things that they can do. And just as one final thing, like the most important thing, because I know a lot of people are looking beyond Endgame, and they like, man, Spider-Man's already announced. They coming out with all these shows on Disney Plus. Like, clearly, they just gonna bring everybody back. Boo. You know what I'm saying? And what I need, what I kind of want people to understand is the fact that, like, what you see is not probably what you're going to get. It's probably not what you expect. And the people at Marvel know that. Like, they've literally planned this stuff out 5 to 10 years before we've even seen it. So they already know, okay, y'all know if we drop this, people gonna think that, right? Okay, cool. Let's rework this and make sure. And then after all of that planning, boom, now they hit us. So we sitting here reacting to stuff they already thought about 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I do want people to kind of pump their brakes on that stuff first. There, just because you see certain things coming after Endgame doesn't mean that it's going to spoil or predict what's happening in the actual movie. The one thing that I kind of hope for is that when they conclude this movie, the original 6 Avengers, y'all got to go. Like, everybody got to go in some way, shape, or form. I'm not saying they got to die. They could, whatever it takes, you know. And it's kind of like, y'all got to get out the picture. And the reason why I say that is, I don't care if you do kind of like my theory where I said they're gonna drop Captain America back in time so he could just go be with his people, you know, or let's just say some people die. Whatever happens. And the reason why that's important is because if we going into the next phase with Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, etc., and if these contracts are up with Downey and Chris Evans and all that, you don't want to start going into another movie and being like, all right, yeah, this is cool and all, but why don't you just call Iron Man? Why don't y'all just call the Hulk? You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to get out of the picture to make room for the new stage, the new characters that are coming through. So I'm hoping that they basically give them a proper exit so that way we can feel comfortable moving forward with this new ensemble that we're going to have. So
the Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade send off.
Boom, there you go. There you go. Give me that Budweiser commercial for D Wade, you know, and do that for Iron Man, and we good.
Wait. And just don't do Paul Pierce, though. No Paul Pierce.
Yeah. No
Paul Pierce. Dwayne Wade and Dirk. We need to do something like that. No Paul Pierce. Yeah.
They don't love you like Kobe.
They don't love you like Kobe.
Man. Yeah, I'm excited based on what you said, though. I just wanted to say that about, even when you said that about the physics thing, it made me think about how deep I got into Game of Thrones with the 3 hour.
Oh, with Bran?
Yeah, trying to figure out I literally became a nuclear physicist trying to understand time. Like, I was researching all of this.
Hey, watch my next video.
Okay.
My next video.
Watch them thrones. Watch them thrones.
Watch them thrones. Throw them hands. But one thing that I'm kind of working on, and I'm trying to make sure it doesn't go overboard, is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. gave a really big hint for Avengers Endgame. And if you've watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I highly recommend you do, the show got so dope. And I gave up on it before, and I gave it another chance, and I am so happy. It just became so good.
Yeah.
But like after season 2, like before season 2, it was getting boring. But after that, they was like, yo, let's just make this our own. Let's not hitch our ride on the movies and be dependent. Let's just tell our own story. It got dope. But at the end of the series, at the end of season 5, I personally think they gave a huge hint as to what's going to happen in Avengers Endgame. And I'm going to make a video about that and kind of explain some of the implications. And a lot of that is inspired from what you just said, CJ, with Bran and the time travel and all that. So I think you'll find that kind of interesting.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Now, you know, one. Let me ask you this, each one of y'all this. You know, I don't want to hold you too long, but because I know we could talk about, you know, this movie and the things with it all fucking night. But like for you, who is the one character that you don't want to see die? Like somebody you know, like with the Loki thing, you nailed Loki. Like you had that. You even, and I hate to keep putting you on the spot like this, but you nailed Loki so well. Like you said he was gonna die, but you also said it was gonna be some trick shit involved that Thanos wasn't gonna fall for it. And I was like, look, when it happened, I was like, look at this nigga, man. He
you
wasn't
want
like,
another Loki one?
yeah, go ahead.
Leslie, you might want to close your ears for this one. Just
fucking go
turn
ahead.
away.
Go ahead, fucking go ahead. Go ahead.
Wait.
Oh, please don't tell me Tony. He's gonna say
wait.
Tony.
Hold on before you do it. Hold on before you do it.
You got some shit coming.
Hot shit.
There you go. Black with no chaser, $100 million production, y'all.
I haven't put this anywhere online yet at all, so this is super exclusive. I'm gonna put it in my other video, but
I'm gonna put this out tomorrow.
One, I do think that if they start messing with time travel, one of the implications with that is you technically can do whatever you want, right? Because especially if you start dealing with multiple timelines, guess what? I could kill a Tony if I want to.
Well, that's the same thing about the Strange. Is that what he did with the Time Stone, right? When he had 14 million different.
Not exactly.
Scenarios.
Kind of, right? So like, he saw all them different timelines, right? Mm-hmm. But like, if we're dealing with multiverse theory, we could talk about like, yeah, maybe we kill this version of Tony, but maybe there's a future version that still exists. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, don't be surprised if they kill somebody. And it's still gonna hurt, don't get me wrong, but they still kind of make up for it by saying like, oh, by the way, there's another Tony somewhere else and he's fine. You know, so there's that. So that's why I don't put it past nobody to actually die. Because if they die, that doesn't mean that the character is gone forever. But the one thing that I was gonna say was I really do believe that Black Widow is gonna bite the dust. And I mean, like, bite the dust. Like, she's done. Not a copy, not multiple times. Like, she's done. I think she's going to do something super heroic. You know, I don't know if it's, you know, do something with the Infinity Gauntlet. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be something that'll make us care about her. And the reason why I say that is because they're coming out with another movie for, next year. And that movie is a prequel. So I'm like, okay, why would y'all do a prequel for a side character that we really never really connected with? But I'm thinking like, okay, well, the only way I'm gonna connect with her is if she does something dope in this movie. And if she's gone, maybe a prequel can help me, you know, be like, oh, well, I would have wanted to know more about her. So that's kind of like where I'm leaning with that. And yeah, I do think Tony's gonna die. And it's only because we don't want him to. And the Russos are jerks. And they do stuff like that.
Damn.
That's why they got rid of Black Panther, because he was so popular. It's like, I don't care if Falcon dies. I mean, you know, keep it up, brother. You know, but you know, all love to Black love. But yo, when you take the king out, I'm hurt. That crippled me for a couple days. You know what I'm saying?
At least bring back Killmonger. Shit.
You know, right? At least somebody. You know. So you know, yeah, I could totally see Tony going only because he literally started it all. Yeah, and if he started it all, it's kind of like he is kind of like the heart, you know, of the MCU, you know. And of course, I think nobody's going to die just for the sake of it. I think everybody's going to do something heroic, maybe self-sacrificial or whatever. But if I did a poll on my page, like who would hurt more if they were to go, Cap or Tony, everybody picked Tony. So I wouldn't be surprised if Marvel was like, yeah, we know. Get ready for it. You know, because they
Get
petty
ready to
like
cry.
that. They
Get ready
petty
to
like
cry.
that. So.
Yeah. Get ready to cry, followed by like some sort of hope, you know, because Marvel's always
Right.
real good with
Right.
that, right? With juggling your emotions.
It'll be bittersweet. You know, it's like, dang, why he gotta go? Yeah, but if he didn't, we would all
Right,
die.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
all
We
right.
all die.
So.
And here comes fucking X-Men, you know.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Like, no, guys, it's okay.
It's okay.
Spider-Man's here. It's
Yeah,
fine.
like, yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
I don't really have a character that's left in the current one that I hope necessarily survives per se, but I do read a lot into whatever it takes being the running theme for the film. I anticipate whatever it takes really meaning something significant, and it going back to what Doctor Strange told everybody when they were on the planet and he was going through the scenarios. Like, he had a very solemn look on his face when he was like, "There's only one way that I went through all the scenarios and there's only one possible way." And so I have no idea how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to seeing what whatever it takes really means. And I don't think the Russos are going to disappoint when it comes to that. I think they may tear our hearts out, but and make us love them for it at the same time, which would be weird.
Yep.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably see it twice.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to not to see it twice in one weekend. That's my only concern. But I'm cool with it, man. Like, I'm cool. I'm actually okay because I've noticed that there's been some obvious foreshadowing about Tony Stark, for example. Making a sacrificial play. This has sort of been a theme for him. And so if he dies making a sacrificial play, as long as it's done the right way, which I have full confidence that it will be, I'm fine. I think everybody else would be fine with it. And the same thing with like Cap going back in time, a lot of foreshadowing with Peggy, like with him linking back up with Peggy Carter. Because hell, even that whole like Peggy Carter's grandniece or niece or whatever, that whole shit just completely went away. Like, I don't know what happened to that relationship with Sharon Carter and Cap. But anyway, so like I think that there's obviously maybe some foreshadowing about Cap going back in time. I'm okay with that as long as it's done in the right way. I'm really kind of stoked about what they plan to do next, and if they plan on revealing anything in the mid/end credit scenes, right? Like,
I've been hearing that they're not gonna do nothing.
Oh, I know, man. I know they're just gonna say "F y'all." Yeah,
but we all gonna sit there. We're gonna sit there. I know.
I'm gonna sit. Oh, come on now. Yeah, but I kind of heard that. I've been sort of looking back at it now. I'm sort of assuming more and more they're not going to do anything. It's going to be like the first Avengers, and they'll be fucking just eating shawarma or something. Nothing really too. But then that's it. There's going to be no Thanos turning around and talking about I'm about to court death. Yeah, so yeah, you're right, man. You probably
about that money. They should though.
They should at least give me Wolverine's claws. Like you ain't gotta give me. You ain't gotta give me the whole thing.
Just thinking that, man.
You got me hyped just then.
I was just thinking that.
Hey, did you see my video on the 5 most shocking endings? I did something on like the 5 most shocking things that they can conclude Endgame with that will blow people away. Oh, and that was one of them.
Oh, okay. I gotta see that.
I gave a scenario on how they could bring Wolverine in a dope way where you ain't got to go get Hugh Jackman and spend a lot of money. You ain't got to do all that because they press for time. Sure. But I did it. I put it out there in a way that I think if we saw this, whole theater gonna blow up. You just be like, oh my gosh.
I gotta go check that out.
Bruh. I'm running laps around it. I'm running laps around the theater now. On everything, man. I'm sprinting.
Man, fucking boy.
Yes.
Man, yeah. If that does happen, I'm liable to just throw the cup of whatever food I done snuck in the theater. All that shit away. Like, come on, man.
They got that drink snuck in. Right. It's like, is this Hennessy on my shirt?
Like, damn, I smell yak.
Hennessy called us.
That would fuck the game up. But you know what? I wouldn't be shocked, man, especially the timeline in which the acquisition played out, because they've been wrestling with this shit for a couple years now, and then all of a sudden, now it's 100% on go, and plus, like all the Marvel bosses, what's his name, Kevin Feige, and a couple other people. Every time you turn around, they're talking about it's not happening. It's not happening. It'll be 3, 4, 5 years or whatever, before we even think about, introducing the X-Men or one of those characters into the MCU. And, again, that could be another one of those runarounds that they're giving us. But if that happens, man,
y'all about to maybe go look at all of the Endgame trailers again now, man. Like, I'm literally about to do that shit as soon as I get off this computer with y'all. Like, I'm about to go try to find, because I totally miss all the Easter eggs all the time, any damn way, until people, until E-Man points them out and shit. But like, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what that was. Those yellow things in the quantum realm. Oh, that's what that was. But I'm about to go look, and I'm about to make the X-Men happen in my mind right now. So,
look, hey,
thank you for that. Thank you for that, Leslie.
No worries.
So listen, man. But before we get out of here, I know, man. I know you got a lot of things going. So just share with us some of your contests you may have, because I saw you had like you so big, like you booking whole theaters and shit. Meanwhile, I'm struggling to get 2 seats to go see the damn movie. So,
big facts. Look. Big facts.
Just tell everybody like what you got coming up, what you got going on, where they can find you, some of these dope videos that you producing, and this quote unquote theories that you out. So
I mean, look, I'm gonna be, first I'm definitely gonna drop a couple more videos. So I'll be, locked away in the lab, just working on them. It's I think the first one's gonna be how Agents of Shield gives a big hint for Avengers Endgame, and then the next one will be about just my last minute predictions, because I got to get my mind right. Like, I can't keep working right before I go see this. Like, I need my mind to be at ease so I can go into this movie. I'll definitely be going live for Game of Thrones, like right after Game of Thrones, and I know Black with No Chase is probably gonna do something very similar. So, everybody definitely tune in for that. I have a watch party. I did not buy out the entire theater this time, but this one was more like, yo, everybody just give me your money. I'm gonna get the tickets for you, because I was telling people my goodness, 2-3 months in advance, y'all not gonna get tickets. I didn't anticipate they were gonna crash websites the way that they did, or for the first time in existence have a wait line or a queue to get tickets. That's insane. But I was telling people like, yo, give me your money. I'm gonna grab the tickets or whatever. So but the thing is like at my watch parties, you pay the same price for a regular movie ticket, but I'm giving you more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously it's the atmosphere, cool people, like-minded folks, all of us are there. You get a lot of free merchandise, posters, t-shirts, just whatever stuff the movie companies be like just giving me, I give them all the way back to the folks, because I don't need it. It's for the people. And then you get a little free popcorn at the same time. So you know what I'm saying? It's like you get way more for your money than if you just go watch.
Yeah, free popcorn. Shit, that's like a mortgage.
I'm trying to do right. So I'm just trying to work it in and get everybody, bring the community together.
That's what's up.
But yeah, that's about it. Drop a couple reviews. But yeah, definitely check me out on my YouTube channel, E-Man's Movie Reviews. That's E-Man, just like He-Man without the H. And if you really want to get down and dirty, check me out on my Facebook fan page. Also, E-Man's Movie Reviews. Talk about trailers, the latest news, funny memes, my movie reviews, whatever. If you're a movie junkie, E-Man's Movie Reviews is where you want to be.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, man. You know, I usually check out every video as soon as you post it, but I ain't gonna lie, I ain't watched a single Endgame, nothing. Like, you know, as soon as I see it pop up,
do it.
I was like, nope.
No, right.
Nope.
Ain't gonna do it. Nope.
Now I like it, I'll share it, but I ain't watching it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Like I said, after Infinity War, I'm like, nah, I can't fuck with this nigga the long way. When it comes to Marvel, I'm gonna just let him make it.
Oh man, that's funny.
But yeah, man, I'm glad y'all stopped by, man, to talk with me about this, man. I'm very excited for it, man. The only thing that would have made this movie even better if in Infinity War, Thanos would have got rid of Trump and Sally Mae. Nigga, that would have been epic.
Man.
But other than that, man, I have no complaints, man, and I'm actually looking forward to it, man. I'm actually looking forward to talking about it, once it goes down. So hopefully y'all will be, ready to come back immediately after. Like, we ain't gonna wait 2 or 3 weeks, man, because by then I'll be in the scene it like 3 or 4 times. So, just like Black Panther, man, I must have watched it 3 times within a week.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to talking to y'all again about it. And like you mentioned, Game of Thrones. That's the next thing we got, coming up. We planning on doing a live show immediately after Game of Thrones. So, we got a lot of shit coming up, man. A lot of ass time in front of screens to really break down and talk about. And, I'm here for it. So I hope y'all ready.
Thanks for having us, brother. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man.
So, another thing before I get out, man, just want to send a shout out to Leslie, Black Excellence Ignorance Podcast.
For sure.
Y'all need to make sure y'all check him out.
Yep.
Him and Aaron Durham, the Cap Super Save 'em. And also the Unapologetic Geek, Jarvis Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
As well as checking out, me, of course, on the Shade of Shit Talking podcast. But you can find all of them on Black with No Chaser Radio. You can find them on Black with No Chaser website, www.blackwithnochaser.com. Our station is on live365.com. You can catch us on Twitter, catch us on IG, catch us on Facebook, and it's only the beginning. It's about to get bigger. Hopefully you'll catch me on TV real soon. So
yes,
we doing some good things, man, and we appreciate the love and the support. And as always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Any last words, fellas?
Whatever it takes, man.
Whatever it takes.
Nigga, I be feeling like that when I be getting the bills in the mail. I'm about to hit these streets and do whatever it takes, man.
Whatever it takes.
Bruh.
Avenge the fallen.
There you go.
Yes,
I'm about to go see if Amazon price match my triple beams at Target and shit.
Hey, man. Got to do something.
Got to pay Sally Mae, man. So I'm
There you go.
She's heartless.
On behalf of Mr. CJ, Mr. Leslie, on behalf of VP of Operations of Marvel, script writer,
right,
and storytelling department, Mr. Emmanuel Norzetta, E-Man's Movie Reviews, and myself, TK. I appreciate you guys for listening, and I will see you guys next week.
Oh, thank you.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.